from the Podwires newsroom at joinpodwires.com.
Hey, Podski. Welcome back to Podwire's 5 Things, your favorite 5-minute pit stop for everything happening in the audio universe. I'm your host, Miguel, and listen, I've got the tea today. We're talking industry shakeups, award season heating up, new shows dropping, and some international vibes coming your way. So whether you're editing a show, walking your dog, or pretending to work, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Okay, so if you're in the podcast biz or just love knowing how the sausage gets made, this one's big. The Interactive Advertising Bureau, aka the IAB, aka the people who basically run the ad game, just announced they're completely reshuffling their 2026 event calendar. And podcasting, it's getting a whole new home. Here's the deal. The IAB Podcast Upfront, which is basically the red carpet event where podcast networks show off their new shows and ad opportunities, is moving out of the spring NewFronts and into a brand new fall event called the IAB Creator Fronts Week. That's September 15th through 17th, 2026. Why does this matter? Because podcasting is now officially being grouped with gaming and digital creators, not just video. Translation, the industry is recognizing that podcasts aren't just audio TV, they're part of the creator economy, their culture, they're where attention lives. David Cohen, the IAB CEO, said the move is all about giving advertisers a first-mover advantage and making it easier to plan across platforms. Basically, they're acknowledging that the old model wasn't cutting it, and creators, including podcasters, deserve their own spotlight. Why it matters? If you're a podcaster, this is validation. If you're an advertiser, this is your cue to take audio seriously. And if you're just a listener, well, expect more money flowing into podcasts, which means better shows, bigger guests, and hopefully fewer mattress ads. All right, podcast creators, exhale. The Ambies, podcasting's Oscars, the big shiny trophy everyone wants, just extended their submission deadline to November 28th. So if you've been dragging your feet or frantically polishing that one episode, you've got a few extra weeks. The Ambies, presented by the Podcast Academy, celebrate the best in audio storytelling across 33 categories, everything from fiction and documentary to comedy, education, and beyond. Submissions cost $275 for Academy members, $325 for non-members. And here's the kicker. The ceremony is happening February 23rd, 2026 at On Air Fest. Red carpet, industry legends, the whole 9 yards. Why it matters? Awards aren't just vanity, they're visibility, they're credibility. They're the difference between your show being discovered or staying buried in the algorithm. So if you made something you're proud of this year, submit it. Even if you don't win, you're in the conversation, and that's half the battle. James Corden, yes, that James Corden, carpool karaoke guy, late late show legend, just dropped a brand new podcast and it's already making waves. It's called This Life of Mine, and it's a 40-episode interview series released globally today through Lemonada Media. The guest list? Absolutely stacked. We're talking David Beckham, Kim Kardashian, Dr. Dre, Martin Scorsese, basically people who don't need to do podcasts, but are showing up anyway because, well, Corden's got that charm. Each episode is described as a richly produced listening experience, which is industry code for this is going to sound really good. Lemonada Media is handling sales and distribution, which is a big deal because they're one of the most respected indie podcast companies out there. Why it matters? This is a flex. Corden could have stayed in TV. He could have done YouTube, but he chose podcasting, and he's bringing A-list talent with him. That's a signal that podcasting isn't just for indie creators anymore. It's a premium space where the biggest names want to play. Plus, if you're a fan of long-form conversational interviews, this is your new binge. The first 2 episodes dropped today, so go check it out on whatever app you're using right now. Okay, this one's a little niche, but stick with me because it's actually really cool. There's a new event happening in Adair, Ireland this November called Soundwaves, and it's positioning itself as the crossroads of music, podcasting, and content creation. The 2-day summit is backed by companies like Apple, Spotify, BBC Sounds, Patreon, and a bunch of major music labels. They're tackling big topics like AI's impact on podcasting and music, IP rights, global marketing, and how to actually make money as a creator. But here's the twist. It's happening in Adair, a historic village that's also prepping to host the Ryder Cup in 2027. So yeah, there's a golf angle here. The event organizers are leaning into that strategy and focus vibe, like podcasting is a game and you've got to play it smart. And on November 13th, they're capping the whole thing off with the All-Ireland Podcast Awards, judged by Dylan Haskins from BBC Sounds. Categories include current affairs, true crime, sport, entertainment, the whole deal. Why it matters? This is Ireland saying we're a player in the global podcasting game. It's also a reminder that podcasting isn't just an American thing, it's international, and events like this help cross-pollinate ideas, strategies, and collaborations. Plus, if you're a creator looking to network or learn, this is the kind of event that could change your trajectory. Last, but absolutely not least, let's talk about the Black Podcasting Awards, which just held their first ever live ceremony this past weekend in Baltimore during the Afros and Audio Podcast Festival. And y'all, it was a moment. The awards honored 29 podcasts, 5 podcasters, and 1 network across 45 categories. We Sound Crazy podcast took home Podcast of the Year plus 2 additional awards. Dominic Lawson of Black is America won Podcaster of the Year and 2 other trophies, bringing his career total to 42. Yes, you read that right, 42 awards. Legend behavior. Anna Deshawn of Queer News also took home 4 honors, including the Legend Award. And Lisa Wolfort's Stitch Please won 3. Founded in 2020, the BP Awards is a nonprofit that celebrates, spotlights, and uplifts Black podcast creators through peer-voted recognition. And that peer-voted part is key. This isn't about a panel of industry gatekeepers deciding who matters. It's creators celebrating creators. So shout out to the BP Awards for doing the work and making it happen IRL. Applications for the 2026 awards open May 26, 2026. So mark your calendars. All right, that's your 5. Podcasting is shifting, growing, and getting the recognition it deserves, whether that's through industry restructuring, new star-powered shows, international summits, or community-driven awards. If you're a creator, this is your reminder that the ecosystem is evolving fast, and there's room for you. If you're a listener, congrats, you're about to have even more incredible stuff to binge. As always, I'm keeping my eye on what's next. Tomorrow, we'll be watching how these industry shifts play out and what else drops in the podcast world. Until then, keep listening, keep creating, and keep the volume up. This has been Podwire's 5 Things. Catch you tomorrow. Peace.
That's your wrap. Want the inside track on podcasting? Join podwires.com is your next stop. Subscribe to the newsletter for the latest trends and tap into the marketplace to connect with jobs, creators, and brands shaping audio's future. Don't just listen, get involved. Head to joinpodwires.com today.